Marc Márquez maintained his perfect start to the 2025 MotoGP World Championship season as he reeled off another pair of victories during round 2, the Argentina MotoGP. Once again, it was an all-Marquez affair as Marc notched up victory in both the sprint and the full-length feature at the Termas de Río Hondo circuit, chased home in each by his brother Álex Márquez. It follows on from the siblings taking 1-2 results during round 1 in Thailand and earns the Marquez family a healthy advantage at the summit of the overall standings after 4 races. There were certainly some similarities to draw from the Thai event, after Marc dominated from the lights to win the sprint race, only to find the going a lot tougher against his brother in the feature. In the sprint race, Marc was in fine form on the factory Ducati once again, the Spaniard keeping Álex in check throughout as they dropped the distant Pecco Bagnaia in third. It was a different story in Sunday's full-length encounter though, after Marc, having initially led from the first corner, relinquished the lead to Álex when he ran wide at turn 1 on lap 4. While the sight of Álex leading Marc mimicked that of the Thai MotoGP, whereas on that occasion Marc spent much of the race latched onto the rear of the Gresini bike ahead of him, this time Marc would have to work hard to keep pace with his fast brother. However, while the margin between the pair ebbed to as much as half a second, Alex's best efforts were never quite enough to shake Marc entirely. The strain of their tug-of-war began to show for Álex in the lattermost laps, as Marc began to climb over the rear of the Ducati GP24 ahead of him. Eventually Marc would get the move done on the run to turn 5, with 5 laps to go. The factory Ducati rider scything past on the straight before reaching the braking zone. It would prove to be the decisive moment of the race. Alex's challenge fading thereafter, as Marc completed another victory by a clear 1.3 seconds. In third place, Franco Morbidelli ended his long wait to get back on the MotoGP podium with a gritty performance on the VR46 Ducati. The Italian came on strong in the opening stages aboard a soft-shod GP24 to briefly rally among the leaders. Though those victory hopes fell away as the race wore on, he still had enough in hand to keep Bagnaia at bay for his first podium in 71 races since the 2021 Spanish MotoGP. Double world champion Bagnaia had to contend himself with a disappointing 4th place, the Italian quickly losing touch with the leaders in the initial laps before spending much of the race fighting a rearguard action from those behind. Fabio Di Giannantonio made it 2 VR46 Ducatis inside the top 5 with a strong run to 5th that included a final lap pass on Johann Zarco. Despite that late slip, however, Zarco still enjoyed by far his best weekend since joining LCR Honda, the Frenchman qualifying on the front row, scoring a 4th place finish in the sprint and taking good points for 6th in the full-length Grand Prix. In 7th, Brad Binder bounced back from a crash out of the sprint race to lead KTM's challenge, ahead of Ogura, who made impressive gains from 15th on the grid to finish as the top rookie again in 8th. Elsewhere, there was an early end to the day for Marco Bezzecchi, the Aprilia rider misjudging his braking into turn 1 and slapping the rear of Fabio Quartararo's Yamaha ahead of him before crashing down. With 2 rounds down and 20 to go, there's still a lot to play for as MotoGP heads north to Texas for round 3, the Grand Prix of the Americas at COTA. It's a circuit Marc Márquez has enjoyed great success at in the past and certainly ensures he'll be the rider with a target on his back in the United States.